Heute lernst du 100 wichtige englische Verben mit Beispielen und deutscher Übersetzung. Perfekt, um deinen Wortschatz zu verbessern. Lass uns anfangen.
Gehen,
To go.
To go.
ich gehe zur Schule.
I go to school.
I go to school.
Sie geht jeden Tag in den Park.
She goes to the park every day.
She goes to the park every day.
Fährst du mit dem Auto?
Do you go by car?
Do you go by car?
Essen,
To eat.
To eat.
ich esse morgens Frühstück.
I eat breakfast in the morning.
I eat breakfast in the morning.
Er isst einen Apfel zum Mittagessen.
He eats an apple for lunch.
He eats an apple for lunch.
Isst du Gemüse?
Do you eat vegetables?
Do you eat vegetables?
Trinken,
To drink.
To drink.
ich trinke Wasser nach dem Laufen.
I drink water after running.
I drink water after running.
Sie trinkt jeden Abend Tee.
She drinks tea every evening.
She drinks tea every evening.
Trinkst du Kaffee?
Do you drink coffee?
Do you drink coffee?
Lesen,
To read.
To read.
ich lese Bücher vor dem Schlafengehen.
I read books before bed.
I read books before bed.
Er liest jeden Morgen die Zeitung.
He reads the newspaper every morning.
He reads the newspaper every morning.
Liest du Geschichten deinen Kindern vor?
Do you read stories to your children?
Do you read stories to your children?
Spielen,
To play.
To play.
ich spiele Fußball mit meinen Freunden.
I play football with my friends.
I play football with my friends.
Sie spielt jeden Tag Klavier.
She plays the piano every day.
She plays the piano every day.
Spielst du Spiele auf deinem Computer?
Do you play games on your computer?
Do you play games on your computer?
Gehen, spazieren.
To walk.
To walk.
Ich gehe jeden Tag zur Schule.
I walk to school every day.
I walk to school every day.
Sie spaziert nach dem Abendessen im Park.
She walks in the park after dinner.
She walks in the park after dinner.
Gehst du oft spazieren?
Do you walk often?
Do you walk often?
Helfen.
To help.
To help.
Ich helfe meiner Mutter in der Küche.
I help my mother in the kitchen.
I help my mother in the kitchen.
Er hilft seinem Bruder bei den Hausaufgaben.
He helps his brother with homework.
He helps his brother with homework.
Hilfst du deinen Freunden?
Do you help your friends?
Do you help your friends?
Sitzen.
To sit.
To sit.
Ich sitze auf dem Stuhl und lese ein Buch.
I sit on the chair and read a book.
I sit on the chair and read a book.
Sie sitzt nachmittags im Garten.
She sits in the garden in the afternoon.
She sits in the garden in the afternoon.
Sitzen sie nebeneinander?
Do they sit next to each other?
Do they sit next to each other?
Stehen.
To stand.
To stand.
Ich stehe an der Bushaltestelle in der Schlange.
I stand in line at the bus stop.
I stand in line at the bus stop.
Er steht neben der Tür.
He stands next to the door.
He stands next to the door.
Stehst du während des Konzerts?
Do you stand during the concert?
Do you stand during the concert?
Lächeln.
To smile.
To smile.
Ich lächle, wenn ich glücklich bin.
I smile when I'm happy.
I smile when I'm happy.
Sie lächelt die Kinder im Park an.
She smiles at the children in the park.
She smiles at the children in the park.
Lächeln Sie oft?
Do they smile often?
Do they smile often?
Weinen.
To cry.
To cry.
Ich weine, wenn ich traurige Filme sehe.
I cry when I watch sad movies.
I cry when I watch sad movies.
Sie weint, wenn sie müde ist.
She cries when she is tired.
She cries when she is tired.
Weinen Sie in der Schule?
Do they cry at school?
Do they cry at school?
Waschen.
To wash.
To wash.
Ich wasche meine Hände vor dem Essen.
I wash my hands before eating.
I wash my hands before eating.
Sie wäscht das Geschirr nach dem Abendessen.
She washes the dishes after dinner.
She washes the dishes after dinner.
Wäschst du deine Kleidung zu Hause?
Do you wash your clothes at home?
Do you wash your clothes at home?
Kochen.
To cook.
To cook.
Ich koche jeden Abend Abendessen für meine Familie.
I cook dinner for my family every evening.
I cook dinner for my family every evening.
Kocht ein großes Essen am Sonntag.
He cooks a big meal on Sundays.
He cooks a big meal on Sundays.
Kochst du zu Hause oder gehst du auswärts essen?
Do you cook at home or eat out?
Do you cook at home or eat out?
Schauen, ansehen.
To watch.
To watch.
Ich sehe abends fern.
I watch TV in the evening.
I watch TV in the evening.
Sie beobachtet Vögel im Garten.
She watches birds in the garden.
She watches birds in the garden.
Schauen Sie Sport im Fernsehen?
Do they watch sports on TV?
Do they watch sports on TV?
Zuhören.
To listen.
To listen.
Ich höre Musik beim Lernen.
I listen to music while studying.
I listen to music while studying.
Hört jeden Morgen Radio.
He listens to the radio every morning.
He listens to the radio every morning.
Hörst du Podcasts?
Do you listen to podcasts?
Do you listen to podcasts?
Kaufen.
To buy.
To buy.
Ich kaufe Brot in der Bäckerei.
I buy bread at the bakery.
I buy bread at the bakery.
Sie kauft Kleidung im Einkaufszentrum.
She buys clothes at the mall.
She buys clothes at the mall.
Kaufen Sie Obst auf dem Markt?
Do they buy fruit at the market?
Do they buy fruit at the market?
Verkaufen.
To sell.
To sell.
Ich verkaufe alte Bücher online.
I sell old books online.
I sell old books online.
Sie verkauft handgemachten Schmuck.
She sells handmade jewelry.
She sells handmade jewelry.
Verkaufen Sie frisches Gemüse?
Do they sell fresh vegetables?
Do they sell fresh vegetables?
Öffnen.
To open.
To open.
Ich öffne morgens das Fenster.
I open the window in the morning.
I open the window in the morning.
Sie öffnet das Geschäft um 9 Uhr.
She opens the shop at 9 a.m.
She opens the shop at 9 a.m.
Öffnest du jeden Tag deine E-Mails?
Do you open your emails every day?
Do you open your emails every day?
Schließen.
To close.
To close.
Ich schließe die Tür, wenn ich gehe.
I close the door when I leave.
I close the door when I leave.
Er schließt die Fenster, bevor es regnet.
He closes the windows before it rains.
He closes the windows before it rains.
Schließen Sie das Geschäft um 20 Uhr?
Do they close the shop at 8 p.m.?
Do they close the shop at 8 p.m.?
Anfangen, beginnen.
To begin.
To begin.
Ich beginne meine Arbeit um 8 Uhr.
I begin my work at 8 a.m.
I begin my work at 8 a.m.
Sie beginnt ihren Tag mit einer Tasse Kaffee.
She begins her day with a cup of coffee.
She begins her day with a cup of coffee.
Beginnen Sie das Meeting jetzt?
Do they begin the meeting now?
Do they begin the meeting now?
Beenden.
To finish.
To finish.
Ich beende meine Hausaufgaben am Abend.
I finish my homework in the evening.
I finish my homework in the evening.
Sie beendet ihr Buch vor dem Schlafengehen.
She finishes her book before bed.
She finishes her book before bed.
Beendest du deine Aufgaben pünktlich?
Do you finish your tasks on time?
Do you finish your tasks on time?
Reisen.
To travel.
To travel.
Ich reise jeden Sommer nach Italien.
I travel to Italy every summer.
I travel to Italy every summer.
Er reist jeden Monat für die Arbeit.
He travels for work every month.
He travels for work every month.
Reisen Sie mit dem Zug?
Do they travel by train?
Do they travel by train?
Warten.
To wait.
To wait.
Ich warte jeden Morgen auf den Bus.
I wait for the bus every morning.
I wait for the bus every morning.
Sie wartet auf ihren Freund am Bahnhof.
She waits for her friend at the station.
She waits for her friend at the station.
Wartest du lange?
Do you wait long?
Do you wait long?
Senden, schicken.
To send.
To send.
Ich schicke eine E-Mail an meinen Chef.
I send an email to my boss.
I send an email to my boss.
Er schickt einen Brief an seine Großmutter.
He sends a letter to his grandmother.
He sends a letter to his grandmother.
Schicken Sie Pakete ins Ausland?
Do they send packages abroad?
Do they send packages abroad?
Erhalten, bekommen.
To receive.
To receive.
Ich erhalte jeden Tag viele E-Mails.
I receive many emails every day.
I receive many emails every day.
Sie bekommt ein Geschenk zu ihrem Geburtstag.
She receives a gift for her birthday.
She receives a gift for her birthday.
Bekommst du oft Briefe?
Do you receive letters often?
Do you receive letters often?
Lieben.
To love.
To love.
Ich liebe Schokolade.
I love chocolate.
I love chocolate.
Sie liebt ihre Familie.
She loves her family.
She loves her family.
Liebst du deinen Job?
Do you love your job?
Do you love your job?
Hassen.
To hate.
To hate.
Ich hasse kaltes Wetter.
I hate cold weather.
I hate cold weather.
Er hasst es, früh aufzustehen.
He hates waking up early.
He hates waking up early.
Hassen Sie laute Geräusche?
Do they hate loud noises?
Do they hate loud noises?
Lernen.
To learn.
To learn.
Ich lerne jeden Tag Englisch.
I learn English every day.
I learn English every day.
Sie lernt, wie man kocht.
She learns how to cook.
She learns how to cook.
Lernst du schnell?
Do you learn quickly?
Do you learn quickly?
Unterrichten, lehren.
To teach.
To teach.
Ich unterrichte Kinder in Englisch.
I teach English to children.
I teach English to children.
Unterrichtet Mathematik in der Schule.
He teaches math at school.
He teaches math at school.
Unterrichten Sie gut?
Do they teach well?
Do they teach well?
Zeigen.
To show.
To show.
Ich zeige dir den Weg zum Bahnhof.
I show you the way to the station.
I show you the way to the station.
Sie zeigt ihren Freunden ihre Fotos.
She shows her photos to her friends.
She shows her photos to her friends.
Zeigen Sie Ihr Haus den Gästen?
Do they show their house to guests?
Do they show their house to guests?
Denken.
To think.
To think.
Ich denke über meine Zukunft nach.
I think about my future.
I think about my future.
Denkt viel an seine Familie.
He thinks about his family a lot.
He thinks about his family a lot.
Denkst du, das ist eine gute Idee?
Do you think this is a good idea?
Do you think this is a good idea?
Brauchen.
To need.
To need.
Ich brauche Hilfe bei meinen Hausaufgaben.
I need help with my homework.
I need help with my homework.
Sie braucht ein neues Handy.
She needs a new phone.
She needs a new phone.
Brauchen Sie mehr Zeit?
Do they need more time?
Do they need more time?
Geben.
To give.
To give.
Ich gebe dir ein Geschenk.
I give you a gift.
I give you a gift.
Er spendet Geld für wohltätige Zwecke.
He gives money to charity.
He gives money to charity.
Gibst du deinen Freunden Ratschläge?
Do you give advice to your friends?
Do you give advice to your friends?
Anrufen, rufen.
To call.
To call.
Ich rufe meine Eltern jeden Sonntag an.
I call my parents every Sunday.
I call my parents every Sunday.
Sie ruft ihren Hund, wenn er wegläuft.
She calls her dog when it runs away.
She calls her dog when it runs away.
Rufen sie dich oft an?
Do they call you often?
Do they call you often?
Fragen.
To ask.
To ask.
Ich stelle meinem Lehrer eine Frage.
I ask my teacher a question.
I ask my teacher a question.
Sie fragt nach dem Weg zum Bahnhof.
She asks for directions to the station.
She asks for directions to the station.
Fragst du nach Hilfe, wenn du sie brauchst?
Do you ask for help when you need it?
Do you ask for help when you need it?
Finden.
To find.
To find.
Ich finde meine Schlüssel unter dem Tisch.
I find my keys under the table.
I find my keys under the table.
Sie findet eine Münze auf der Straße.
She finds a coin on the street.
She finds a coin on the street.
Findest du dein Handy leicht?
Do you find your phone easily?
Do you find your phone easily?
Verlieren.
To lose.
To lose.
Ich verliere manchmal meinen Stift.
I lose my pen sometimes.
I lose my pen sometimes.
Er verliert seinen Weg im Wald.
He loses his way in the forest.
He loses his way in the forest.
Verlieren Sie oft Ihre Spiele?
Do they lose their games often?
Do they lose their games often?
Hören.
To hear.
To hear.
Ich höre Musik aus dem nächsten Zimmer.
I hear music from the next room.
I hear music from the next room.
Sie hört morgens Vögel singen.
She hears birds singing in the morning.
She hears birds singing in the morning.
Hörst du mich deutlich?
Do you hear me clearly?
Do you hear me clearly?
Sehen.
To see.
To see.
Ich sehe die Sonne durch das Fenster.
I see the sun through the window.
I see the sun through the window.
Er sieht seine Freunde im Park.
He sees his friends at the park.
He sees his friends at the park.
Sehen Sie die Berge von Ihrem Haus aus?
Do they see the mountains from their house?
Do they see the mountains from their house?
Fühlen.
To feel.
To feel.
Ich fühle mich glücklich, wenn ich meine Familie sehe.
I feel happy when I see my family.
I feel happy when I see my family.
Sie fühlt sich müde nach der Arbeit.
She feels tired after work.
She feels tired after work.
Fühlst du dich im Winter kalt?
Do you feel cold in the winter?
Do you feel cold in the winter?
Reinigen, putzen.
To clean.
To clean.
Ich putze die Fenster jede Woche.
I clean the windows every week.
I clean the windows every week.
Sie reinigt das Badezimmer morgens.
She cleans the bathroom in the morning.
She cleans the bathroom in the morning.
Reinigen Sie oft Ihr Auto?
Do they clean their car often?
Do they clean their car often?
Brechen.
To break.
To break.
Ich zerbreche versehentlich ein Glas.
I break a glass accidentally.
I break a glass accidentally.
Zerbricht den Bildschirm seines Handys.
He breaks his phone screen.
He breaks his phone screen.
Zerbrechen Sie oft Sachen?
Do they break things often?
Do they break things often?
Reparieren.
To repair.
To repair.
Ich repariere mein Fahrrad am Wochenende.
I repair my bike at the weekend.
I repair my bike at the weekend.
Sie repariert ihr Auto in der Werkstatt.
She repairs her car at the garage.
She repairs her car at the garage.
Reparieren Sie kaputte Möbel?
Do they repair broken furniture?
Do they repair broken furniture?
Rennen, laufen.
To run.
To run.
Ich laufe jeden Morgen im Park.
I run in the park every morning.
I run in the park every morning.
Läuft jedes Jahr einen Marathon.
He runs a marathon every year.
He runs a marathon every year.
Läufst du schnell?
Do you run fast?
Do you run fast?
Anhalten, stoppen.
To stop.
To stop.
Ich halte das Auto an der roten Ampel an.
I stop the car at the red light.
I stop the car at the red light.
Sie hört um 17 Uhr auf zu arbeiten.
She stops working at 5 p.m.
She stops working at 5 p.m.
Stoppen Sie das Spiel, wenn es regnet?
Do they stop the game when it rains?
Do they stop the game when it rains?
Sprechen, reden.
To talk.
To talk.
Ich rede jeden Abend mit meinen Freunden.
I talk to my friends every evening.
I talk to my friends every evening.
Sie spricht nach dem Unterricht mit ihrem Lehrer.
She talks to her teacher after class.
She talks to her teacher after class.
Reden Sie laut?
Do they talk loudly?
Do they talk loudly?
Antworten.
To answer.
To answer.
Ich beantworte morgens alle E-Mails.
I answer all the emails in the morning.
I answer all the emails in the morning.
Sie geht schnell ans Telefon.
She answers the phone quickly.
She answers the phone quickly.
Beantwortest du die Fragen richtig?
Do you answer the questions correctly?
Do you answer the questions correctly?
Ankommen.
To arrive.
To arrive.
Ich komme um 9 Uhr bei der Arbeit an.
I arrive at work at 9 a.m.
I arrive at work at 9 a.m.
Sie kommt früh am Bahnhof an.
She arrives at the train station early.
She arrives at the train station early.
Kommen Sie pünktlich an?
Do they arrive on time?
Do they arrive on time?
Verlassen, weggehen.
To leave.
To leave.
Ich verlasse das Büro um 17 Uhr.
I leave the office at 5 p.m.
I leave the office at 5 p.m.
Sie verlässt das Haus früh am Morgen.
She leaves the house early in the morning.
She leaves the house early in the morning.
Gehen Sie nach dem Meeting?
Do they leave after the meeting?
Do they leave after the meeting?
Besuchen.
To visit.
To visit.
Ich besuche meine Großeltern sonntags.
I visit my grandparents on Sundays.
I visit my grandparents on Sundays.
Sie besucht Museen in ihrer Freizeit.
She visits museums in her free time.
She visits museums in her free time.
Besuchen Sie oft Ihre Freunde?
Do they visit their friends often?
Do they visit their friends often?
Warten.
To wait.
To wait.
Ich warte jeden Morgen auf meinen Bus.
I wait for my bus every morning.
I wait for my bus every morning.
Sie wartet auf ihre Reihe in der Schlange.
She waits for her turn in the line.
She waits for her turn in the line.
Wartest du lange?
Do you wait long?
Do you wait long?
Hoffen.
To hope.
To hope.
Ich hoffe auf gutes Wetter morgen.
I hope for good weather tomorrow.
I hope for good weather tomorrow.
Sie hofft, ihre Prüfung zu bestehen.
She hopes to pass her exam.
She hopes to pass her exam.
Hoffen Sie auf eine bessere Zukunft?
Do they hope for a better future?
Do they hope for a better future?
Bewegen, umziehen.
To move.
To move.
Ich schiebe den Stuhl näher zum Tisch.
I move the chair closer to the table.
I move the chair closer to the table.
Sie zieht nächste Woche in eine neue Wohnung.
She moves to a new apartment next week.
She moves to a new apartment next week.
Ziehen Sie oft um?
Do they move often?
Do they move often?
Versuchen.
To try.
To try.
Ich probiere ein neues Rezept für das Abendessen aus.
I try a new recipe for dinner.
I try a new recipe for dinner.
Sie versucht, eine neue Sprache zu lernen.
She tries to learn a new language.
She tries to learn a new language.
Bemühst du dich sehr?
Do you try hard?
Do you try hard?
Bleiben.
To stay.
To stay.
Ich bleibe an Regentagen zu Hause.
I stay at home on rainy days.
I stay at home on rainy days.
Sie bleibt bei ihren Großeltern während der Ferien.
She stays with her grandparents during holidays.
She stays with her grandparents during holidays.
Bleiben Sie in Hotels, wenn Sie reisen?
Do they stay in hotels when traveling?
Do they stay in hotels when traveling?
Beginnen.
To begin.
To begin.
Ich beginne meinen Tag mit einer Tasse Kaffee.
I begin my day with a cup of coffee.
I begin my day with a cup of coffee.
Sie beginnt ihre Arbeit um 8 Uhr.
She begins her work at 8 a.m.
She begins her work at 8 a.m.
Beginnen Sie Ihr Projekt heute?
Do they begin their project today?
Do they begin their project today?
Wählen, aussuchen.
To choose.
To choose.
Ich wähle ein Buch aus der Bibliothek.
I choose a book from the library.
I choose a book from the library.
Sie wählt ein rotes Kleid für die Party.
She chooses a red dress for the party.
She chooses a red dress for the party.
Wählst du deine Mahlzeiten sorgfältig aus?
Do you choose your meals carefully?
Do you choose your meals carefully?
Senden, schicken.
To send.
To send.
Ich schicke einen Brief an meinen Freund.
I send a letter to my friend.
I send a letter to my friend.
Er sendet eine E-Mail an seinen Chef.
He sends an email to his boss.
He sends an email to his boss.
Senden Sie Pakete nach Deutschland?
Do they send parcels to Germany?
Do they send parcels to Germany?
Bleiben.
To stay.
To stay.
Ich bleibe am Wochenende zu Hause.
I stay at home on weekends.
I stay at home on weekends.
Sie bleibt im Sommer bei ihrer Tante.
She stays with her aunt during the summer.
She stays with her aunt during the summer.
Bleibst du lange auf der Party?
Do you stay long at the party?
Do you stay long at the party?
Tragen.
To carry.
To carry.
Ich trage jeden Tag eine Tasche zur Schule.
I carry a bag to school every day.
I carry a bag to school every day.
Er trägt eine Kiste ins Haus.
He carries a box into the house.
He carries a box into the house.
Tragen Sie schweres Gepäck?
Do they carry heavy luggage?
Do they carry heavy luggage?
Zeigen.
To show.
To show.
Ich zeige meinen Freunden meine Fotos.
I show my photos to my friends.
I show my photos to my friends.
Sie zeigt ihr Projekt dem Lehrer.
She shows her project to the teacher.
She shows her project to the teacher.
Zeigen Sie das neue Haus den Gästen?
Do they show the new house to guests?
Do they show the new house to guests?
Drehen, abbiegen.
To turn.
To turn.
Ich blättere die Seite in meinem Buch um.
I turn the page in my book.
I turn the page in my book.
Sie biegt an der Ampel nach links ab.
She turns left at the traffic light.
She turns left at the traffic light.
Machst du das Licht aus, bevor du schläfst?
Do you turn off the lights before sleeping?
Do you turn off the lights before sleeping?
Fallen.
To fall.
To fall.
Ich falle, wenn der Boden rutschig ist.
I fall when the ground is slippery.
I fall when the ground is slippery.
Fällt manchmal vom Fahrrad.
He falls from his bike sometimes.
He falls from his bike sometimes.
Fallen Sie oft im Winter?
Do they fall often in winter?
Do they fall often in winter?
Reparieren.
To repair.
To repair.
Ich repariere mein Auto in der Werkstatt.
I repair my car at the garage.
I repair my car at the garage.
Sie repariert ihre Schuhe, wenn sie kaputt sind.
She repairs her shoes when they are broken.
She repairs her shoes when they are broken.
Reparieren Sie alte Möbel?
Do they repair old furniture?
Do they repair old furniture?
Fragen.
To ask.
To ask.
Ich stelle meinem Lehrer eine Frage.
I ask my teacher a question.
I ask my teacher a question.
Sie fragt nach dem Weg zum Bahnhof.
She asks for directions to the station.
She asks for directions to the station.
Fragen Sie oft nach Hilfe?
Do they ask for help often?
Do they ask for help often?
Machen.
To make.
To make.
Ich mache ein Sandwich zum Mittagessen.
I make a sandwich for lunch.
I make a sandwich for lunch.
Sie macht einen Kuchen für den Geburtstag ihrer Freundin.
She makes a cake for her friend's birthday.
She makes a cake for her friend's birthday.
Machen Sie Pläne für das Wochenende?
Do they make plans for the weekend?
Do they make plans for the weekend?
Zeichnen.
To draw.
To draw.
Ich zeichne Bilder von Tieren.
I draw pictures of animals.
I draw pictures of animals.
Sie zeichnet eine Karte der Gegend.
She draws a map of the area.
She draws a map of the area.
Zeichnest du mit Bleistiften oder Markern?
Do you draw with pencils or markers?
Do you draw with pencils or markers?
Schneiden.
To cut.
To cut.
Ich schneide das Papier mit einer Schere.
I cut the paper with scissors.
I cut the paper with scissors.
Mäht den Rasen im Garten.
He cuts the grass in the garden.
He cuts the grass in the garden.
Schneiden Sie Gemüse fürs Abendessen?
Do they cut vegetables for dinner?
Do they cut vegetables for dinner?
Klettern.
To climb.
To climb.
Ich steige die Treppe in den zweiten Stock hinauf.
I climb the stairs to the second floor.
I climb the stairs to the second floor.
Sie klettert auf einen Baum im Park.
She climbs a tree in the park.
She climbs a tree in the park.
Besteigst du Berge am Wochenende?
Do you climb mountains on weekends?
Do you climb mountains on weekends?
Schwimmen.
To swim.
To swim.
Ich schwimme im Sommer im See.
I swim in the lake in summer.
I swim in the lake in summer.
Schwimmt jeden Morgen im Schwimmbad.
He swims in the pool every morning.
He swims in the pool every morning.
Schwimmen Sie schnell?
Do they swim fast?
Do they swim fast?
Öffnen.
To open.
To open.
Ich öffne die Schachtel, um zu sehen, was drin ist.
I open the box to see what's inside.
I open the box to see what's inside.
Sie öffnet die Tür für den Lieferanten.
She opens the door for the delivery man.
She opens the door for the delivery man.
Öffnest du die Geschenke am Weihnachtsmorgen?
Do you open gifts on Christmas morning?
Do you open gifts on Christmas morning?
Schließen.
To close.
To close.
Ich schließe das Buch und gehe schlafen.
I close the book and go to sleep.
I close the book and go to sleep.
Er schließt die Tür, wenn er geht.
He closes the door when he leaves.
He closes the door when he leaves.
Schließen Sie das Geschäft um 18 Uhr?
Do they close the shop at 6 p.m.?
Do they close the shop at 6 p.m.?
Springen.
To jump.
To jump.
Ich springe über die Pfütze.
I jump over the puddle.
I jump over the puddle.
Sie springt aus Spaß auf dem Trampolin.
She jumps on the trampoline for fun.
She jumps on the trampoline for fun.
Springen Sie hoch bei Sportwettbewerben?
Do they jump high in sports competitions?
Do they jump high in sports competitions?
Lachen.
To laugh.
To laugh.
Ich lache über lustige Witze.
I laugh at funny jokes.
I laugh at funny jokes.
Sie lacht, wenn sie Komödien anschaut.
She laughs when she watches comedies.
She laughs when she watches comedies.
Lachst du mit deinen Freunden?
Do you laugh with your friends?
Do you laugh with your friends?
Weinen.
To cry.
To cry.
Ich weine, wenn ich traurig bin.
I cry when I feel sad.
I cry when I feel sad.
Er weint bei emotionalen Filmen.
He cries during emotional movies.
He cries during emotional movies.
Weinen Sie, wenn Sie verletzt sind?
Do they cry when they are hurt?
Do they cry when they are hurt?
Schauen, ansehen.
To watch.
To watch.
Ich schaue jeden Abend fern.
I watch TV every evening.
I watch TV every evening.
Sie beobachtet Vögel im Garten.
She watches birds in the garden.
She watches birds in the garden.
Schauen Sie am Wochenende Filme?
Do they watch movies on weekends?
Do they watch movies on weekends?
Zuhören, anhören.
To listen.
To listen.
Ich höre Musik während des Lernens.
I listen to music while studying.
I listen to music while studying.
Sie hört Podcasts im Auto.
She listens to podcasts in the car.
She listens to podcasts in the car.
Hörst du oft Radio?
Do you listen to the radio often?
Do you listen to the radio often?
Lächeln.
To smile.
To smile.
Ich lächle, wenn ich glücklich bin.
I smile when I feel happy.
I smile when I feel happy.
Sie lächelt jeden an, den sie trifft.
She smiles at everyone she meets.
She smiles at everyone she meets.
Lächeln Sie auf Fotos?
Do they smile in photos?
Do they smile in photos?
Bauen.
To build.
To build.
Ich baue eine Sandburg am Strand.
I build a sandcastle at the beach.
I build a sandcastle at the beach.
Er baut ein Baumhaus für seine Kinder.
He builds a treehouse for his kids.
He builds a treehouse for his kids.
Baust du Dinge mit deinen Händen?
Do you build things with your hands?
Do you build things with your hands?
Reparieren.
To fix.
To fix.
Ich repariere jedes Wochenende mein Fahrrad.
I fix my bike every weekend.
I fix my bike every weekend.
Sie repariert ihren Computer, wenn er abstürzt.
She fixes her computer when it crashes.
She fixes her computer when it crashes.
Reparieren Sie kaputte Möbel?
Do they fix broken furniture?
Do they fix broken furniture?
Vergessen.
To forget.
To forget.
Ich vergesse meinen Regenschirm zu Hause.
I forget my umbrella at home.
I forget my umbrella at home.
Er vergisst manchmal wichtige Termine.
He forgets important dates sometimes.
He forgets important dates sometimes.
Vergisst du leicht Namen?
Do you forget names easily?
Do you forget names easily?
Sich erinnern.
To remember.
To remember.
Ich erinnere mich an meinen ersten Schultag.
I remember my first day at school.
I remember my first day at school.
Sie erinnert sich an jedes Detail ihrer Reise.
She remembers every detail of her trip.
She remembers every detail of her trip.
Erinnern Sie sich an deinen Geburtstag?
Do they remember your birthday?
Do they remember your birthday?
Einladen.
To invite.
To invite.
Ich lade meine Freunde zu meiner Party ein.
I invite my friends to my party.
I invite my friends to my party.
Sie lädt ihre Nachbarn zum Abendessen ein.
She invites her neighbors for dinner.
She invites her neighbors for dinner.
Lädst du deine Kollegen zu Veranstaltungen ein?
Do you invite your colleagues to events?
Do you invite your colleagues to events?
Bleiben.
To stay.
To stay.
Ich bleibe am Wochenende bei meinem Freund.
I stay at my friend's house for the weekend.
I stay at my friend's house for the weekend.
Sie bleibt während ihres Urlaubs im Hotel.
She stays in the hotel during her vacation.
She stays in the hotel during her vacation.
Bleiben Sie zu Hause, wenn es regnet?
Do they stay at home when it rains?
Do they stay at home when it rains?
Reisen.
To travel.
To travel.
Ich reise jedes Jahr an neue Orte.
I travel to new places every year.
I travel to new places every year.
Reist jeden Monat für die Arbeit.
He travels for work every month.
He travels for work every month.
Reist du oft mit dem Flugzeug?
Do you travel by plane often?
Do you travel by plane often?
Bleiben.
To stay.
To stay.
Ich bleibe zu Hause, wenn es regnet.
I stay at home when it rains.
I stay at home when it rains.
Sie bleibt während der Ferien bei ihren Eltern.
She stays with her parents during the holidays.
She stays with her parents during the holidays.
Bleibst du lange bei der Arbeit?
Do you stay late at work?
Do you stay late at work?
Öffnen.
To open.
To open.
Ich öffne morgens das Fenster.
I open the window in the morning.
I open the window in the morning.
Sie öffnet ihren Laptop, um mit der Arbeit zu beginnen.
She opens her laptop to start work.
She opens her laptop to start work.
Öffnen Sie das Geschäft um 9 Uhr?
Do they open the shop at 9 a.m.?
Do they open the shop at 9 a.m.?
Schließen.
To close.
To close.
Ich schließe mein Notizbuch nach dem Unterricht.
I close my notebook after the lesson.
I close my notebook after the lesson.
Er schließt die Autotür vorsichtig.
He closes the car door carefully.
He closes the car door carefully.
Schließt du nachts die Fenster?
Do you close the windows at night?
Do you close the windows at night?
Treffen, kennenlernen.
To meet.
To meet.
Ich treffe meine Freunde in der Stadt.
I meet my friends in the city.
I meet my friends in the city.
Sie trifft ihren Lehrer jeden Montag.
She meets her teacher every Monday.
She meets her teacher every Monday.
Treffen Sie neue Leute bei der Arbeit?
Do they meet new people at work?
Do they meet new people at work?
Reinigen, sauber machen.
To clean.
To clean.
Ich reinige jeden Abend meinen Schreibtisch.
I clean my desk every evening.
I clean my desk every evening.
Sie putzt die Fenster zweimal im Monat.
She cleans the windows twice a month.
She cleans the windows twice a month.
Reinigen Sie das Haus gemeinsam?
Do they clean the house together?
Do they clean the house together?
Lernen.
To learn.
To learn.
Ich lerne jeden Tag neue Wörter.
I learn new words every day.
I learn new words every day.
Lernt Gitarre spielen.
He learns to play the guitar.
He learns to play the guitar.
Lernst du schnell?
Do you learn quickly?
Do you learn quickly?
Helfen.
To help.
To help.
Ich helfe meiner Schwester bei den Hausaufgaben.
I help my sister with her homework.
I help my sister with her homework.
Sie hilft ihrem Nachbarn, die Einkäufe zu tragen.
She helps her neighbor carry groceries.
She helps her neighbor carry groceries.
Helfen Sie bei Schulveranstaltungen?
Do they help at school events?
Do they help at school events?
Reisen.
To travel.
To travel.
Ich reise jedes Jahr in neue Länder.
I travel to new countries every year.
I travel to new countries every year.
Sie reist mit dem Zug, um ihre Familie zu besuchen.
She travels by train to visit her family.
She travels by train to visit her family.
Reisen Sie mit dem Auto oder dem Flugzeug?
Do they travel by car or plane?
Do they travel by car or plane?
Einladen.
To invite.
To invite.
Ich lade meine Freunde zu meiner Geburtstagsfeier ein.
I invite my friends to my birthday party.
I invite my friends to my birthday party.
Er lädt seine Familie zum Abendessen ein.
He invites his family to dinner.
He invites his family to dinner.
Laden Sie Ihre Kollegen zur Veranstaltung ein?
Do they invite their colleagues to the event?
Do they invite their colleagues to the event?
Warten.
To wait.
To wait.
Ich warte jeden Morgen auf den Bus.
I wait for the bus every morning.
I wait for the bus every morning.
Sie wartet auf ihren Freund im Café.
She waits for her friend at the cafe.
She waits for her friend at the cafe.
Warten Sie lange in der Schlange?
Do they wait long in the queue?
Do they wait long in the queue?
Ankommen.
To arrive.
To arrive.
Ich komme um 8 Uhr im Büro an.
I arrive at the office at 8 a.m.
I arrive at the office at 8 a.m.
Sie kommt früh am Flughafen an.
She arrives at the airport early.
She arrived at the airport early.
Kommen Sie pünktlich zum Meeting an?
Do they arrive on time for the meeting?
Do they arrive on time for the meeting?
Verlassen, weggehen.
To leave.
To leave.
Ich verlasse um 17 Uhr die Arbeit.
I leave work at 5 p.m.
I leave work at 5 p.m.
Sie verlässt das Haus in Eile.
She leaves the house in a hurry.
She leaves the house in a hurry.
Verlassen Sie die Party früh?
Do they leave the party early?
Do they leave the party early?
Wachsen, anbauen.
To grow.
To grow.
Ich pflanze Blumen in meinem Garten.
I grow flowers in my garden.
I grow flowers in my garden.
Sie baut Gemüse für ihre Familie an.
She grows vegetables for her family.
She grows vegetables for her family.
Wachsen sie im Sommer schnell?
Do they grow fast in summer?
Do they grow fast in summer?
Entscheiden.
To decide.
To decide.
Ich entscheide, was ich zum Abendessen esse.
I decide what to eat for dinner.
I decide what to eat for dinner.
Sie entscheidet sich, nächsten Monat in den Urlaub zu fahren.
She decides to go on vacation next month.
She decides to go on vacation next month.
Entscheidest du dich schnell?
Do you decide quickly?
Do you decide quickly?
Versprechen.
To promise.
To promise.
Ich verspreche, dir morgen zu helfen.
I promise to help you tomorrow.
I promise to help you tomorrow.
Sie verspricht, ihre Freundin anzurufen.
She promises to call her friend.
She promises to call her friend.
Versprechen Sie, pünktlich zu kommen?
Do they promise to arrive on time?
Do they promise to arrive on time?
Glauben.
To believe.
To believe.
Ich glaube an meine Fähigkeiten.
I believe in my abilities.
I believe in my abilities.
Sie glaubt, dass sich harte Arbeit auszahlt.
She believes that hard work pays off.
She believes that hard work pays off.
Glaubst du an Wunder?
Do you believe in miracles?
Do you believe in miracles?
Kochen.
To cook.
To cook.
Ich koche heute Abend Nudeln.
I cook pasta for dinner tonight.
I cook pasta for dinner tonight.
Sie kocht jeden Sonntag Suppe.
She cooks soup every Sunday.
She cooks soup every Sunday.
Kochen Sie gemeinsam als Familie?
Do they cook together as a family?
Do they cook together as a family?
Leihen, ausleihen.
To borrow.
To borrow.
Ich leihe Bücher aus der Bibliothek aus.
I borrow books from the library.
I borrow books from the library.
Sie leiht sich einen Stift von ihrer Freundin.
She borrows a pen from her friend.
She borrows a pen from her friend.
Leihen Sie Werkzeuge von den Nachbarn?
Do they borrow tools from the neighbors?
Do they borrow tools from the neighbors?
Verleihen.
To lend.
To lend.
Ich leihe meinem Freund ein Buch.
I lend my friend a book.
I lend my friend a book.
Sie leiht ihrem Bruder ihr Fahrrad.
She lends her bike to her brother.
She lends her bike to her brother.
Verleihst du Geld an deine Freunde?
Do you lend money to your friends?
Do you lend money to your friends?
Raten.
To guess.
To guess.
Ich rate die Antwort auf die Frage.
I guess the answer to the question.
I guess the answer to the question.
Sie schätzt das Gewicht der Früchte.
She guesses the weight of the fruit.
She guesses the weight of the fruit.
Raten Sie richtig?
Do they guess correctly?
Do they guess correctly?
Bringen.
To bring.
To bring.
Ich bringe jeden Tag meine Tasche zur Schule.
I bring my bag to school every day.
I bring my bag to school every day.
Sie bringt Blumen zur Party mit.
She brings flowers to the party.
She brings flowers to the party.
Bringen Sie Essen für das Picknick mit?
Do they bring food for the picnic?
Do they bring food for the picnic?
Fangen.
To catch.
To catch.
Ich fange den Ball während des Spiels.
I catch the ball during the game.
I catch the ball during the game.
Nimmt jeden Morgen den Bus.
He catches the bus every morning.
He catches the bus every morning.
Fängst du Fische im See?
Do you catch fish in the lake?
Do you catch fish in the lake?
Klettern.
To climb.
To climb.
Ich steige die Treppe in den zweiten Stock hinauf.
I climb the stairs to the second floor.
I climb the stairs to the second floor.
Sie klettert auf einen Baum im Park.
She climbs a tree in the park.
She climbs a tree in the park.
Besteigen Sie oft Berge?
Do they climb mountains often?
Do they climb mountains often?
Warten.
To wait.
To wait.
Ich warte auf meinen Freund im Café.
I wait for my friend at the cafe.
I wait for my friend at the cafe.
Sie wartet auf den Zug am Bahnhof.
She waits for the train at the station.
She waits for the train at the station.
Wartest du lange in der Schlange?
Do you wait long in queues?
Do you wait long in queues?
Senden, schicken.
To send.
To send.
Ich sende eine E-Mail an meinen Lehrer.
I send an email to my teacher.
I send an email to my teacher.
Sie schickt ihrer Großmutter einen Brief.
She sends a letter to her grandmother.
She sends a letter to her grandmother.
Schicken Sie Pakete ins Ausland?
Do they send packages abroad?
Do they send packages abroad?
Zeigen.
To show.
To show.
Ich zeige meinen Freunden mein neues Fahrrad.
I show my friends my new bike.
I show my friends my new bike.
Er zeigt seiner Familie ein Fotoalbum.
He shows his family a photo album.
He shows his family a photo album.
Zeigst du deine Arbeit dem Lehrer?
Do you show your work to the teacher?
Do you show your work to the teacher?
Denken.
To think.
To think.
Ich denke über meine Hausaufgaben nach.
I think about my homework.
I think about my homework.
Sie denkt über ihre Zukunft nach.
She thinks about her future.
She thinks about her future.
Denken Sie, das ist eine gute Idee?
Do they think this is a good idea?
Do they think this is a good idea?
Essen.
To eat.
To eat.
Ich esse jeden Morgen Frühstück.
I eat breakfast every morning.
I eat breakfast every morning.
Sie isst einen Apfel zum Mittagessen.
She eats an apple for lunch.
She eats an apple for lunch.
Essen Sie oft Gemüse?
Do they eat vegetables often?
Do they eat vegetables often?
Trinken.
To drink.
To drink.
Ich trinke Wasser nach dem Laufen.
I drink water after running.
I drink water after running.
Er trinkt abends Tee.
He drinks tea in the evening.
He drinks tea in the evening.
Trinkst du jeden Tag Kaffee?
Do you drink coffee every day?
Do you drink coffee every day?
Ansehen, beobachten.
To watch.
To watch.
Ich beobachte nachts die Sterne.
I watch the stars at night.
I watch the stars at night.
Sie schaut jedes Wochenende einen Film.
She watches a movie every weekend.
She watches a movie every weekend.
Schauen Sie gemeinsam fern?
Do they watch TV together?
Do they watch TV together?